Alright guys, we got an Altec DB47 today with the hydraulic pump leaking. So we're gonna go under here real quick and then I'll show you what we're talking about. So there's your hydraulic pump. And I've cleaned this off already, but that's your PTO. There's the pump. It is leaking from the shaft seal inside. I cleaned all this up before and I ran it. I had them run it for about 5 hours, and then they it was that little right there that's leaking. I don't know if you can see that, but turn that off. The pump right there is leaking, so we gotta get these lines off. They're real fucking shitty. I think that's a 16. This I gotta turn off the fucking gate valve, and then I think there's one more line up there, right there, that we're gonna have to take off. Once we take all that off, we'll probably replace all these Boss fittings, but then I've got the seal kit for it. There's a couple seals in there, but mainly it's the shaft seal that comes out from the inside, so you can't just replace it by taking the pump off and getting the seal out. But I'll show you the guys that in a second. For right now, I'm gonna undo these clamps, these little P clamps, these ones too, cut these zip ties. I don't think I gotta undo this one. I need to get some caps, some plugs for these two fittings. That should be 12. This is a 16, I believe, JIC. This we just gotta cut off the gate valve all the way back there, and then we'll come back when I'm taking out the two 1/2-inch bolts that hold the pump to the PTO. Alright, so I'll probably put some time on this, but on there. Take it the right angle. Oh, sorry. There it is. The pan, caps the pump. I must have been running it. She's nice. Hot. Alright. What about this? Right down here. Oh man, I'm not sure if you can see any of that. Really quite a bit, because I actually grabbed the dash 16 like an idiot and didn't even look. And this is the dash 12 line. So let's tighten this up real quick. No leaks. Okay, we lost maybe a quart. That's what we're gonna do. I was gonna just tuck that line out of the way. These fuel lines are kind of a pain in the ass. They always do this, but like they rub right there. So we're gonna have to put something right there to stop that from rubbing. But now, this next line's even worse. You gotta get directly under to get to it. Nowhere really. Put the pan. Try that right cap and plug this time at least. For a second. Tight little shit. But I need another angle so I can move some stuff. There's the cap and plug. about that. Where's the 1, 2. This is this one we're gonna lose some fluid on. This big line goes all the way up to the lower valve. There it is. So you got that one. There. Now good. Cap on. Well, there's not much fluid in the pump because that closed ball valve in the other pressure line is capped off too. So that's all the fluid. There should be just a little bit in the line, but not too much. That is our suction line. And like I knew it would, it's gonna get your whole arm. Just fuck putting this in a convenient spot, right? Or conveniently placing it in your toes. I just snap back in the face. Oh, right here. That one. Just tuck those up. Oh, now. Main suction line off. Let's get you to see what we're looking at. So, there's 4 bolts on this flange, but see, it's got this 45 to a 90. I need to remember which way that goes, but I actually need to turn that to get to that bolt right there. So, to turn that, I gotta turn that boss down there, which is the same size probably, but I'll leave it loose. So when I go back in, I'll replace the O-ring, leave it loose so that I can adjust it. I will take off those 4 3/4. That will be good. Let's see if I can get you. There's not really a good spot for you guys right now. Put you right there. That big old wrench. Not laying on it. We'll find it. There it is, along with the light. See if we can get it right there. What that angle looks like. Alright. We'll get that thing loose, and then we can rotate that thing out of the way, get those 3 bolts off. Alright. It should be the same size. It is. Just, of course, it's tighter. Don't be thick. Alright. Oh, I see what's wrong with that. So I need to rotate this one. There it is. Okay, so we got that out of the way. So we got 4 3/4. That'll come out. Yeah, my sockets I pushed out of the way. Yes. Whoops. You didn't see anything. I just put way too much stick. Loosen that. Idiot. Further ones first. Alright. Put that on a rag. I'll pick up the dirt. Alright. I try to always leave the hardest one for the easiest one to last. So now I don't think they're not split clamp, so it's gonna come off with 1 clamp. Grab another rag. Alright, go off the gun a little bit. Okay. Oop. Alright, so we got that off there. Now coming apart real simple with these. Going back together, it'll be pretty easy, except for that -16 line. That is always a booger. And there's okay, the O-ring's still on there, so that's good, we didn't lose that. Now, these fuel lines make this a real pain because this line does not like to flex. I guess I'm gonna have to take off a P-clamp. Or what are they called? A cushioned Odell. this guy. I don't think I need to take off that one, but I'm gonna take off this one so I can get some more flex in the line. Oh, my battery's dying super quick. I only have one of these batteries, so I guess I'll come back when it's charged. I'll try not to start rebuilding the pump because there's some things I want to point out just because I've done a couple of these and I've messed them up. But yeah, I guess I'll come back in a little bit when it's recharged. All right, so we got the pump out, we got it cleaned up. What really helped out was that bottom bolt was a pain. I ended up using some extensions and a ratchet, but for the top bolt, this double flex head, it's actually a K tool, but I know this is, I think this is the same one that does the Carlisle and all the other ones, but the Cabaiba or whatever the heck it's called, it's the ratcheting that switches. This was able to get the top one real nice. Usually these crescent moon or half moon and the S 3/4 come in handy, but someone was very mad when they put those on, and they were tight as shit, so I had to get out this long guy and 16 inches of extension and pull on this guy to get those out. But we got it. We cleaned her up a little bit with some brake clean, and then what I was talking about is you need to make sure you put these back together the same way. So I put this little timing mark right there and right there, and you don't want to do it with paint because as you can see, brake cleaner just takes this paint off. So I just use a little chisel, line it up, hit it like 2 or 3 times, make sure it's a dent, but it's not going to hurt it too much or at all, because depending on the application, Altec installs it with this facing over here, this facing the other way. Usually this is always cocked one direction, but it's either left or right, and then this will go up or down, and then this this is usually always down, but it's always just good to put a mark so you know where it goes back. Now we gotta take this off. Oh, actually we gotta get the seal kit out, take this off, take this section off, get some sockets, knock out that seal, and then we should be good. Let me get the seal kit out and then we'll start taking this apart. This is that seal kit part number for this Eaton Victor's pump. Oh, 5/8, okay. Washers or anything on these, so we're just gonna set those at the top. I like to lay them out left to right the way they go on. So that's got the little timing dowel right there. Oh, the other one fell in there. So just gotta make sure that we put that back in there. And that was this little dowel came out. Alright, that one's not going to be, so it looks like 3/4. So we got the main body, and it took the O-ring with it. So there's actually some rust in here. That's not good. This one also has 2 dowels. Place that right there. Alright, so this is our main, this is where the seal is. And the bearing. Oh man. Well, this pump is toast. I was really hoping this wouldn't happen, but you can see inside the oh, this is terrible lighting, but see how it doesn't look like all those balls are in there? That's because they're broken and right in there. And you can see this little metal right there. So this pump is trash because they're not going to sell me a rebuild kit, and I got to get these guys back going. And you feel that play? Well, you can't feel it, or you can't see it, but that is way too much play. I might be able to get this bearing. Chances are I'm gonna have to get the pump because Altec doesn't, well, like I was saying, Altec does not sell a rebuild kit. They only sell a reseal kit. So I don't know. I'll be able to find this locally, but if I can find it within my time constraints, because I only have this truck for today. It has to be going tomorrow. But without a pump, it actually might be longer. I don't know. We're gonna have to see if they have it in stock. All right, so we got the new pump in. Actually, this is an Eaton Vickers. I believe this is a vane or a gear. Pretty sure it's a vane pump. This one, this is a Danfoss Vickers vane pump. So I think it's just a different company makes it. Pretty sure it's the same spec, but since we're replacing the pump, usually with a gear or vane pump, you don't really have to adjust pressures, because it'll put out constant pressure, and then at the valve it'll dump that off. But this is a different manufacturer, so I'm gonna check it, make sure it's still good. With like a piston pump, you would need to adjust it. I would always check with a piston pump. I'm still gonna check with this because it is a new pump. If you're just rebuilding it, I'm not gonna check. I will rebuild this one. We're waiting on the, oh no, we got the bearing. It's just I have not had time, and I've been messing around with a dozer and some line trucks, so we're just gonna do this one. It doesn't come with fittings, and this is clocked the wrong way, so we got to go 90 degrees down. But we got to get this off too. We'll replace the boss fitting. We'll leave this loose still so it'll swivel around, because I think it goes something like that. We'll see. It's been 2 days since I've worked on this, so I'm not particularly sure. I think I gotta stick it on the vise. Anyways, so let's do that. Put some gloves on before I mess up my hands again. Probably gonna leak. Actually, I think we drained this. But, all right. Place that boss. Let's get this one. That's 1.25 inches. Punch boss. Yep, that'll work. There's only 3/4. Oh, screw this guy. That'll work. Can't take that off. I believe that was 5/8, right? I think those were 5/8. Alright, so pump is facing, faces down. There it is. Turn it 90 degrees. Make sure it sits pretty nice on there. Put these back. We're gonna blue Loctite these just because I don't want to fuck around. Red Loctite. Let's get a ratchet. Oh, good thing we checked this that way. That would have sucked. It's definitely a lot hotter today, I'll tell you what. Let's go this one. I'm sure there's a torque spec for this, but we're just gonna go by feel. Make sure it's tight all the way around. Feel pretty good, so let's get this in. This is probably going to be full of oil. So where did I put these? There it is. I don't like going, well, good rule of thumb, never go dry, but at least that's what I was taught. Just gotta be careful with these threads. Make sure it doesn't cut it up. Tighten that down. We'll put it back in the vise to get it tight. I don't want anything getting in this pump. I still need to rebuild this. But that'll be when things slow down. Maybe next year. I don't know. No, we'll rebuild it soon. We were just struggling because we're down a guy and another guy. Classic. These small Chevy service trucks, they got the same problem the Fords do. They have a 2-piece oil pan. So, yeah, his is leaking and they can't get parts for it. He already dropped it off at the dealer like an idiot instead of doing it himself. But, yeah, it's not my problem, I guess. I just gotta pick up the slack. So I guess that does make it my problem, actually. Alright, let's get it back. Oh man, is it fucking hot. Okay, so we're gonna tighten this guy down all the way. And we'll leave this JIC loose so that we can still swivel. JIC still swivels, so we're good there. Probably about there. This one, if I remember right, the pump is going to face backwards like that. Oh, don't want to. This one's easier to adjust, so we can do that. Oh, we need to get the O-ring off of that flange face and replace it, because I do not want to just stay in there. I think I remember right. I think it's that guy. I know I bought a few of them last time because I did not have any. I had to ask somebody for them, but pretty sure it's that guy. And that's the only one that's not labeled. Let's go grab that O-ring, and then we'll start putting this back in. But I guess we'll bring the video back when we got it up in there, or I can find you guys a good spot. So, all right, so that's the area we got to get to. They took all these hydraulic lines on the inside of these two fuel lines, your pressure and return, or not pressure, that's your suction and return. I did have that O-ring, it was that one I showed. To put on the threads, not the threads, the splines, I always put there's some anti-seize. People say you could use grease. I like using anti-seize. That's how I was taught. So that's what I do. You can do whatever you want. Now this pump is 53 pounds, so it's kind of a booger. It's not too bad. But I had to take these two brackets off of this transmission tail shaft housing to get in and out of here. So alright, so the splines are started, and I did forget the anti-seize because I'm an idiot. Alright, let's get it back out, I guess. I don't want to work directly. Alright, so right there it kind of holds itself. Alright, now we got it. There it is. All right, so she's in. The bolts, these are the flange bolts. Where are, and I saw a puddle underneath when I was looking at the engine, and I got down there and it was coming from the pump or the PTO, so cleaned it up and then followed them that day, and gosh darn, I can't see shit. Found out it was the freaking pump. Well, so on these ones it's easier because hydraulic fluid is very different from automatic transmission fluid. Or in these Allisons, they take that Transcend stuff, the 295 or whatever. There it is. So it's pretty easy to tell once we cleaned it up, because there was a lot of dirt, so you couldn't really tell what color it was because it was all shit brown. Thought that was it. Well, once you cleaned it up, you saw it was just regular brown. Tells me that it's not transmission fluid, and it's coming out of that front, which means that shaft seal. Now, I did not think that bearing was messed up when I first started. Just gotta wiggle it, get it in place, and then we're starting it by hand. Actually, we're not gonna use the impact on these at all. And then we'll get this going. We're gonna try and put on the dash 16 line first, then this flange line, and then the dash 12. Alright, so before I get too tight, I wanna make sure I can get the other one. So even though it is flush. Which one? Oh, I remember this fucking shit. A lot of times they'll leak from this suction line because this clamp's too loose. And I shit you not, their solution is to put another clamp. They move this clamp back because this should be in here about 3 or 4 inches. And then they just give you the same clamp and you put 2 of them. It works, I'll be honest. I fixed quite a few of them like that. Wish there was a better way, but it's just a suction line, so. Alright, so this one's starting to get tight. So we'll do that one, mediocre. And we'll go and do this one. Alright. We're gonna hit these with a wrench too, just to be sure. I mean, I got that Loctite, but so the pump's mounted. What in the shit? Why does this look wrong? So the bend I'm getting on this guy, that is, I thought this went, if I remember right, I thought it went this way. Like it went around this way. I don't. Oh no, that's right, because I was near the transmission or pan / housing. Yeah, okay, that's right. Never mind. False alarm. I'm just stupid. Alright, okay, there's a little bit of gunk on one of those corners. But really, that surface looks pretty good. Looks like that goes this bottom surface right here. So, because this grabs right here, so alright, so we got these 2 lines down here, the 2 pressure lines. That's a little too close. I'm gonna hit that probably. So let's move you back. This is one. I took the other one up above the drive line. I'm not quite ready to get fucking drenched yet, but alright, we're gonna do something else. Take that fucking contraption off. We're gonna start it. Start this one. It's probably what I should have done from the beginning, but you know, thought I was better than I am. Oh man, now this one's not. This fucking battery goes all the way. Alright. Now that shit show's over. Need to change shirts. Thankfully, for some reason, it's not draining all the fluid. But now we gotta tighten both those. So, I might need to go get the angle wrench because this one this one's at a bad spot. I don't know if you guys can see that, but we're just tightening this top JIC to boss. I took that out and got this started. We'll tighten that one next. Oh my gosh, the camera's about to die. Let me go plug this in and I will come back later. This is just getting this line tightened. That line's a piece of cake. That one's a piece of cake. But we'll come back in a little bit. Kind of looks like, I don't know if I just got fluid everywhere, but there's some fluid right here that I want to check out. So we're gonna clean this up too once we get all three lines on, before I open the hydraulic, or after. Yeah, well, no, we'll clean it before and then just look at it. But yeah, we'll be back. All right, so we got the pump installed, cleaned it off. I went to go check, see how to do the pressures. It just said, well, it wants you to tee in. There's no quick connect on the outriggers for the diggers, at least. Outrigger should be set at 2500. The boom should be set at pretty much the same. I was not going to tee in, so I put the outriggers down, went up there. There's a gauge up there. I mean, I got all my gauges in because I thought it was a quick connect like some of the buckets, but it is not. And the main relief should be set at 2500. All right, so we got the pole claws off. It's just these two bolts, one on each side, these big 1-inch. I need to run a tap through here because these always get messed up. I just unbolted this, took the pin out, and I zip tied it up. I'm going to cover this up with rags and cover this up and some of these lines so that I don't get any weld splatter on there when I do some welding. This is the side that always messes up because this sticks out. So either this cracks out or it breaks the bolt in here. I'm not sure if you guys can see those threads. But yeah, see, they're starting to rust. So we're gonna put some anti-seize. We're gonna clean those up and put some anti-seize in there so that they don't. And then I've got a shiv, so we might just replace that. But my battery still didn't come in, and this has got to last all day, so I'll just come back when I got that grinded out and I'll show you what it looks like, and then I'll lay a bead over it. I might show you guys that. I'll definitely show you afterwards. I don't know if I'll be able to get it while I'm doing it because these batteries don't last long at all. But, all right, so we got it grinded out. We hit that a little bit, I guess, but that'll be fine. Made a little ground. Got our leads. It's hard to know what that's at, but this is a 3/32 7018 rod. So I'm at setting 4 on amperage. I think that's 75, 80 amps, but I'm not sure. And then whenever you weld, you always want to make sure you either disconnect the batteries and set up this little guy. This is from Mac Tools. It's just it'll absorb any surge, I believe, so that it doesn't go back to the ECM. So yeah, we'll get this welded. We're gonna lay one, probably end up laying 3. So 1 in there, 1 on the bottom, 1 on the top. And then we're gonna call that fucking good. Run a tap through both of these, clean them up, put a bunch of anti-seize on these bolts. The bushing for the small one came out, so we're gonna clean that up. That just sits in here this way, so we'll clean that one up too, I guess, because these always get seized. I'm actually surprised it just popped out. Let's just put that over there. But yeah, we'll get that welded up and we'll come back and show you, and then we got to paint it, put it all back together, and then make sure it works. All right, so I did 2 passes, just one right there, one below it, and then I tried to just go over both of them with a fatter pass. I think that'll hold and just do just fine. I am not a welder, so yes, it is not perfect, but will it work? Yeah, it's gonna work, I believe. So I'm gonna clean it up with a wire wheel around here, paint this, run the threads, and we should be good. We didn't get anything on the lines. That's grease or the cylinder, so I think we did pretty good. Just clean that up, paint it, and get this thing going. And I gotta get the shit out of here and do some other stuff today. So, all right, so we got it tapped and painted. We tapped this side too. See a little burrs coming off, so we're gonna get rid of that. But yeah, we tapped these, so they look good now. They thread in real nice with those bolts. I guess we could run a die down on these. I mean, these look fine, but it's 1 by 8. So that should be this guy. So I guess we could run that down on these 2 bolts real quick, and then be almost done with this project. Just got to reassemble and run it some more. Should bottom out here in a second. Now, I don't have a thread cleaner. I've got that thread cleaner kit. Came out recently. Well, not recently. It was like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I think they came out with that. But it doesn't go up to 1 inch. So I have to use the tap and die, which I know this will get rid of some material. And it actually thins up these edges, but it's nice to clean these up and just make sure they're gonna go in. That looks a lot better. So we'll do that little guy. Let's clean this sucker out though. That one actually threads in real nice. When these do break, it's usually the long bolt. It's not this bolt. Long bolt always gets seized in that bearing, before, and then it snaps off. Yeah, that looks better. Put that back. A pretty nice set. I got it on sale because it's kind of expensive. There's that part number. It's a Mac Tools. I'm sure you could get another brand. I've got the big and the little set from them. But yeah, we'll probably start going back together with this. I'm gonna let that paint dry a little bit, clean up some of my stuff. I gotta get the boom back out to pick that up because I don't want to do that by hand. Actually, I can clean up those bushings. That's what I'm gonna do. So that needs to be done. And at the end, we got to put the return filter in. There's that part from Altec. Because that pump, the bearing came apart, we just want to make sure we change that return filter just so it catches anything. It was running like that for a while, so I don't think there's anything in the system. And plus, I just changed that in January. But we're gonna change it again just because I have one, and should be done whenever if you're gonna swap out the pump for something like what did happen when that bearing came apart. But we'll come back later, I guess, when I got this back together and we're running the boom.